So right here, we're going to get great insight into what's going on behind the scenes with Jeanie Buss and the Lakers ever since they sold this team. And we can't forget, just looking back at their father, that he is a innovator when it comes to the entertainment side of the NBA. All the celebrities being in the front row is because of him. That Showtime element of the NBA is really because of Dr. Buss. And it's been kind of sad to see in the last decade or so that his children not be in a position in order to innovate. Right now, we're seeing a new class of billionaire owners come in, and it takes a lot more from the financial side to build the infrastructure around these teams. And the Golden State Warriors, it may seem like this overnight, but they have completely leapfrogged the Lakers in net worth and as far as relevancy in the state of California. You got Steve Ballmer literally down the block from the Lakers arena with the Intuit Dome. Just the amount of money spent, all the innovation. In recent times, it looks like the Lakers are a step too slow on the innovation part. The NBA dealing with the pandemic was a bigger deal than what people really thought. The league had borrowed $800 million just to divvy out to certain teams to maintain expenses, as even the following season, a lot of owners lost ticket revenue because majority of that year, fans were not allowed to be in the stands. This is where the new Laker ownership comes in, as they purchased in June of 2021 about 27% of Laker stock. So you already know the family was in need of cash. And current day, as expenses keep getting higher and higher, that very same ownership group was eventually going to buy them out because they were creeping up inch by inch, helping them out by purchasing even more equity into the Lakers. So there has been a lot of infighting within the family. It started way back in 2020. Even as the Lakers had success in the bubble and winning the finals, there was a lot of turmoil that Jeanie Buss was going through with her siblings. And that business of having LeBron James in LA, that candle died a lot faster than what was initially intended. But you guys check out these two NBA insiders provide great insight into what's going on behind the scenes. And every once in a while, I'll check in.
Can I say something about
Yeah.
Jeanie?
Yeah.
She's very, very well liked in the NBA, right? And she's liked in Los Angeles. Maybe not everybody, and maybe people will have, they can look at certain decisions,
Sure.
but she's her Q rating, her respect level. People in the league really like her. She has a very pleasant way about her.
And a lot of the media members in the NBA do like her because they are not harsh to criticize what's been going on with some of the decision making, aka the Russell Westbrook trade, and letting certain guys walk away from the team and not giving them extensions early. This is all during the LeBron James era. But Dr. Buss did trust Jeanie to handle a lot more of the business side of the Lakers more than the other siblings. And Jeanie has been real selective of some of the business handlers that she has around her. Kirk and Linda Rambis, and also David McClain. That's her business manager. He sort of protects her personal money from any major losses coming from the Lakers.
Talk to other owners or people around the league that have nothing to do with Los Angeles. They like dealing with her.
But let me say this about Jeanie Buss. Her last name is Buss.
Mm-hmm.
And correct me if I'm wrong, but she has five brothers and sisters, and she's now fired 3 of them.
That's right. Jim got fired, and then Joey and Jesse. Yeah,
right. And she sued 2 of them.
Yeah, well, they deserved. I mean, I shouldn't.
Oh no! Hey, listen, I'm not taking a side.
They were
I'm just saying
it was a palace coup. So yeah, okay.
No, hey, I'm not, just to be clear, I'm not taking a side. I am just saying that this woman is not afraid to handle what she thinks is business, even if it means firing her brothers. And he's never fired her sister, to my knowledge. Firing her brothers and suing
Jeanie
her
and
brothers.
Janie aren't very good terms. Jeanie still does work with the Laker Foundation. Yeah,
Jeanie is a lot more casual, but she will brawl too, and that's what I'm taking. That's what I'm just saying is she's fired 3 of her brothers.
Okay, so let's back up a little bit. That's the Joey and Jesse situation. I think a lot of this is, if you're close to the situation, it was not surprising at all that this happened. Okay, I think there has been a distance between the younger brothers and Jeanie for quite some time. I think in one of his interviews, Jesse even said, I haven't spoken to my sister in 5 months.
Damn, that's rough. For a man to build his business and the same thing that provided his family a life is going to be the very same thing that tears them apart, even when you're gone. It's a tough thing to deal with, but unfortunately, a lot of families are going to go through that.
Crazy. That was jaw dropping.
Yeah,
It was
like
at the Athletic.
this is from what I, that relationship, those two relationships, and I would say it's maybe more so Jesse than Joey. Joey, I think, is still, around the offices more and a little more involved. But let's, because they were both fired, we grouped them together. But I don't think that's been a good relationship for at least the last 2 years. And I don't know if there was any specific thing that degraded that relationship, because if you remember when she fired Jim, and that was part of the larger case where Johnny and Jim had sort of teamed up to try to force Jeanie out as the head of the there was 3 of them, and they started, it was 2 boys and 1 girl, even though she was the head of the board of directors. They had
they were the trustees, right? They were the trustees, and they tried to say, hey, we're the trustees and we're going to outvote you 2-1. And she's like, the hell you are.
Yeah. Well, and then they, there was a legal maneuver. Okay. And so it didn't work. She had a better lawyer than they did. And his name was Adam Streisand. He's one of the best trusted attorneys. If you find anybody who's had some estate
the quotes
stuff,
that he gave you, there's a story that you wrote all about this.
Remember, all this happened when the Lakers won the championship in the bubble. This was actually ongoing as they were going to win the championship that October.
8 years ago, he gave you some amazing on the record quotes.
He's a well-known. If you Google Adam Streisand, I think he's worked with Britney Spears. He's done every major trust case in LA. Like Adam, you want him on your team. Okay, so Jeanie had a better lawyer, and she won that one. But the younger brother stood with her on that. At that time, It was 4-2 the other way. It was Jeanie, Janie, Joey, and Jesse, and then Jim and Johnny were on one side. And now we've kind of gone to the other side.
And then she swung around and joined with the older.
And
no, that's what I'm saying. I'm saying this. Yeah. I don't know about admiration. I'm just saying, like, this went down. Like, she may have a pleasant way about her and sort of a pleasant voice, but there was a reason why and in that trust document
chose her to be the.
That's right. He looked at all 6 of his kids and he said, Jeanie, and multiple times in that document, it said, Jeanie is going to run the business. And, whatever you want to say about, Dr. Buss, he was a businessman too. Yeah, he was a player.
Yes, he was a businessman, but I don't think he could foresee how the infrastructure of the NBA has changed. Now these new crop of owners coming in, they're going to be dealing with the TV deal possibly not being as lucrative as it once was, as it is today. So they have to innovate. So they're pivoting towards owning the arena themselves, the land, almost making the ecosystem around the arena a resort. They want the hotels, the casinos, for all the gambling that we see today. They want all that in-house in one location, one ecosystem. I mean, you can even look at Golden State right now. They have an infrastructure where they even have commercial real estate. So owning the environment around the arena has become as important as owning the team itself. That's what the Adelsons came in Dallas to do with the Mavericks, with the new arena, and they want a casino set up. Look at Steve Ballmer. He owns the land in downtown LA over there by USC. That's almost as important as him owning Intuit Dome. He owns the land that it sits on also. So this is a new class of billionaires that are coming into the league. They're using the teams also as a vehicle to get into real estate. The Buss family mom and pop Laker days was already going to come to an end, whether they be down with it or not.
Boy, he messed around, but when it mattered, he kicked Shaq to the curb. Okay?
He did. You're right. He did.
And his daughter,
he traded Shaq for Kobe.
Genes.
Yeah.
That's right.
Well, and I'll say this, and this is the last we'll say about this part, but there is a famous Kobe Bryant quote about this. Kobe and Jeanie had talked before she made the decision to fire Mitch Kupchak and Jim Buss, and then installed Kobe's former agent, Rob Pelinka. Okay, and they had a conversation, and Kobe, this was the height of Game of Thrones popularity, right? And Kobe said, you need to be like Daenerys Targaryen, the mother of dragons, like. You're the mother of dragons right now, and if you watch that show, you know what Daenerys Targaryen does. Like, She gets on that dragon and the dragon breathes fire and just wipes everybody out. Like, you cannot be afraid to go do that. Like, and at the beginning of that show, you have to be able to swing your sword. Like, if you're going to off somebody, you swing your sword. By the end of it, you got the woman on the dragon taking everyone out. So your point is well taken.
And Jeanie firing a lot of her siblings, it had to get done either or. Right now with this new ownership, the Lakers are beginning to restructure everything so they could put themselves in a position to innovate. The way the NBA is set up right now, there's no way for them to catch up to the Golden State Warriors as far as, and just the way they can make money. So in the next couple years, the new ownership are going to have to put people in that's going to be willing to look for new ways to innovate and get the franchise not only to a great financial level, but also innovate with the roster. They got family members even scouting players. So that whole mom and pop Laker way that worked in the past with the Buss family, they're gonna have to start hiring experts. So don't be shocked if eventually Rob Pelinka is gonna be on his way out.
Answer the question of Mark Walter has put Jeanie Buss in, like, has left her in her position, right?
Right.
And I
Right.
got asked 7 different ways, whose decision was it to fire the brothers? And I will tell you, the answer is it was Jeannie's decision in consultation with everyone else around. Like, she's not going to do that without talking to Mark Walter. Okay, he's going to know. But
Only a bus can fire a bus. They still are owners of the team, and
Yeah.
if they just wanted to leave them on,
yeah,
he obviously had, to use his words to The Athletic, he'd been siloed, and they could have just left him siloed for another decade.
they could have. Yeah.
But only like people were saying to me, "Is this Rob Pelinka?" I go,
No.
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 Only a bus can fire a
No.
bus.
And also, it's
Even
also
now.
the beginning of what we're going to see is a pretty big makeover with the Lakers that's already starting. As we, I had a story last week saying,
Yes.
Farhan Zaidi, who was the GM of the Giants a little while ago, he's a special advisor. It's one of those titles that, if you're special advisor to the owner, that just means he likes you and thinks you're really smart and gives you a bunch of projects, right? So Farhan Zaidi's new project is with the Lakers and the Sparks and all the other sports teams that Mark Walter owns. And Andrew Friedman consults as well. So if you're a Dodger fan, Andrew Friedman's name pretty well. And also, let's say this. Neither Andrew Friedman or Farhan Zaidi is trying to run the Lakers. They're not trying to take Rob Pelinka's job. They're happy with the Dodgers. This is more like a big corporate entity, which is called TWG Sports. It's kind of the same way you would see Dave Schaller, our friend in Philadelphia, who with the Sixers, he helps out with the Commanders because Josh Harris owns both of them.
Look, let me just say this. The Lakers are in need of modernization, and modernization is happening.
And the Lakers definitely do need an update, because the way the Golden State Warriors, a franchise that was almost considered on the same level as the Kings right now, just that same sort of reputation, all of a sudden leapfrogged the Lakers in the last 10 years as far as net worth, business, innovation, everything. So in the next few years, we're going to see the Lakers innovate and take that large brand, because that's all it's pretty much right now. It's just a logo. They're going to now build an infrastructure around it because the capital resources are there. Long gone is the mom and pop approach.